Not this time, Winchell. I know what his girl Friday means. It's his secretary, isn't it?
Gavro, you're the razor's edge. Now, if you could only put your wit to your wrists.
Mr. William Randolph Hearst owns this paper, and he's not going to stand for you writing about one of his close friends and his close friend's secretary in such a manner.
Yes, he will. Because Mr. William Randolph Hearst wants to sell papers, and I'm the man who sells them for him. But you, Gavro, you're just a red pencil Ronnie. You wouldn't know a story if it bit you on your Yale tail.
You're nothing but a hack, Winchell. You bastardize English syntax and you pass it off as language. You butcher English grammar and you wink at your common audience like you're Shakespeare. Well, Shakespeare would spit on you.
Shakespeare would shake his hand.
Who the hell is this?
I'm Hiram Clairfeld, the writer. According to H.L. Mencken, the greatest linguist of our time, Mr. Winchell is Elizabethan in his creation and revitalization of the English language. And you say Mr. Winchell bastardizes English? Well, English is a bastard with too many illegitimate parents. From the Romans to the Celts, to the Anglos, to the Saxons, to the Normans, to the Puritans, to the Irish, to the Slavs, French, Jews, all the way to Walter Winchell. English is the biggest, ugliest bastard you'll ever meet. But then again, I don't know the company you keep.
Winchell, get your press agents out of here. They work for you and not the Mirror. Get them out before I call security and have them thrown out.
All right, boys, did you hear that? You better get out of here.
Okay, Clairfeld, the writer. What do you got? Winston Nash, you know, the Broadway producer.
I know he doesn't sell shoes.
Right. Mr. Nash is going to be discharged from Bellevue.
Are you sure this is 30 years? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Seems extreme.
He had a fist fight with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be let out of the hospital.
No, that item's a dodge. Nash's wife is 90 pounds today. He's 290. He fell down the stairs drunk, and he'd rather leak it out that she's Jack Dempsey than he's Jack Daniels. Next.
Okay. Serge Mitovani was about to be divorced from
I hate this, and I'm cutting it.
because he's been seen around town with none other than Doris Duke.
No, that item's a dodge, too. It's a ghost. Mitovani's spreading that around just to get himself planted in the papers.
NBC Studios.
I am here.
Mr. Winchell, now I have other items. I have better items than that.
See that dame down there by the light? Yeah, I see it. You see it? You got a 10 on you?
Sorry?
A 10 spot, a sawbuck, a Hamilton, 10 American dollars.
I understand. I got 2 5s.
Oh, fine, that'll be fine.
Bradfeld says his two fins say that dame's a looker.
Oh, no.
Let's see. In items like a woman. Good from far, far from good. 2 lessons. First, you gotta get up close to a story. You gotta look into its eyes and read its lips. Or you lose your bet every time.
I wasn't aware I was making a bet.
And that's the second lesson.
Listen, Mr. Winchell.
I'll tell you what, Ryder. If I use one of your items in my broadcast tonight, you're hired. Otherwise, it was nice playing the ponies with you.
He's not going to use any of my items.
Don't worry about it. Look, if he does, he'll do it in the first 10 minutes. But his final thought, when he calls his last Steve, he always writes himself.
Yeah?
And now, with all the dirt for you skirts and shirts, here's Walter Winchell.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Let's go to press. The King Vito and Marion Hopkins romance looks strong in Hollywood court. But if anyone's looking for Vito's crown, his court jester's wearing it. And that's all he's wearing. Long live the fling. New York. Dorothy Parker, poison ivy herself to many people, is full of it, which explains her bandaged paws. District Attorney Dewey, mentioned as gubernatorial timber by the Sawmill Republicans, will not run for that office if Governor Lehman does. And now for a review of the latest musical from the Schubert brothers, who, contrary to popular belief, I've never thought were lousy. Why, they're the best mediocre producers in town. Their latest triumph, Wunderbar, gives boredom a bad name. But then again, I had a poor view of this show. The curtain was up. And now I know why the Schuberts are rich. They get dollars for a penny of talent. Now I know there's been some talk of the Schuberts barring me from their shows, and if they do that, that's fine by a faithful reporter. I'll just wait 5 days and go to their closings. And now, before your faithful reporter signs off this week for Lucky Strike, here's a cherry to top off your Sunday night. When one of those college professors walks up to you and says Winchell's taking the axe to syntax and the hammer to grammar, that he's turning the English language from a mastiff into a mutt, you tell him English is the biggest hound in the pound. From the Romans to the Celts, to the Anglos, to the Saxons, to the Irish, to the Slavs, French, and Jews, all the way to yours truly, this dog knows when there's something new to bark. English always finds a new way to bark it. That's what makes America great. Good night.
And now, back to Big Band Sounds.
Winchell, you will not regret this. I guarantee it. You will not regret it, Mr. Winchell.